Hello, everybody. It's Robert once again here for a Strat-O-Matic replay. For those of you who didn't watch my 1912 replay in that game between the New York Highlanders and the Boston Red Sox, the first ever game played at Fenway Park, I really suggest you watch that replay. It was terrific. I had a great time doing that one. So please, if you haven't watched the 1912, please watch the 1913. I'm sorry, if you haven't watched the 1912, please watch it. I think it might have been the best replay I've done yet. It was so exciting, and I'm actually surprised that it went the way it did. If I'm sounding a little different right now, it's because I got a brand new headset, and now I think we're working on something better. So now hopefully I come a little bit more clear. And unfortunately, I know, I still sound like a geek. So anyway, it's time to play ball. The year is now 1913. What was special about the year 1913? Well, as you can take a look here at Wikipedia, you can see that was the year the Philadelphia Athletics defeated the New York Giants 4-1. Ty Cobb led the league in batting. Walter Johnson led the American League in pretty much everything. Christy Mathewson took care of things for the Giants in the National League. Tom Seaton, Philadelphia, actually led the league in wins. The Philadelphia Phillies that year actually had a pretty decent team. They finished 12 and a half back of the Giants. They didn't catch them, but they actually a pretty decent team. And we're going to have a little fun with the Phillies today, as a matter of fact. But there are a couple of interesting games that occurred during that season. But I decided to go ahead and try something a little different. So as you can see, April 9th was opening day. And that was a day a very special baseball field opened, and that's Ebbets Field. Now, Ebbets Field was the home of the Brooklyn Dodgers, Superbas, Robins, and of course, and the thing about Ebbets Field is Citi Field, the new stadium for the New York Mets, was pretty much modeled on that ballpark, at least the outside. And Ebbets Field is such a iconic baseball stadium. It's too bad it no longer exists, but here at Strat-O-Matic, we can bring it back, can't we? So let's take a look at it, because that's going to be today's game. I welcome you back to Strat-O-Matic. The year is 1913, and we're actually going to play the first ever baseball game ever played at Ebbets Field. And you can see what we got there. It's going to be the first game was the Philadelphia Phillies, and they're going to take on the Brooklyn Superbas. And yes, they were known as the Superbas in 1913, for those of you who aren't sure. All right. Tom Seaton is going to play for the Phillies, and Rucker is going to pitch for the Superbas. Now, I'm looking at the lineup, and I'm going to bring up the lineup real quick. Let's see if I find him. And there he is. There's Gavy Kravitz. Now, Kravitz was supposed to be a big name that year, and as you saw, he had 19 home runs at the Baker Bowl. But since this is visiting, they don't got Kravitz in the lineup, I guess. I guess it was a major reason why they didn't start him. Kravitz that year, as you can see, just look at him. He batted .341. He had 19 home runs. He led the National League in home runs, and he was just crazy, as you can see. I'm going to do with the starting lineups as it's set, and I'm going to play the Phillies. So I'm going to give the computer the Brooklyn Superbas. So let's see how this game goes. If it's as exciting as 1912 was, I think we're in for a pretty good opening day. As I said, if you haven't watched the 1912 replay, please watch it. That was a lot of fun to do.
Welcome to the stadium for today's ball game.
I'd like to welcome you to the first ever baseball game at Ebbets Field. It is a good day for baseball, as you can see. And take a look how it sits there. You know, with that big wall in the back, the flagpole in the middle. It kind of the flagpole in the middle. It almost looks like it's in play at Ebbets Field. Almost looks like it's in play. The Brooklyn Superbas and the Brooklyn Superbas. Basically, this was their stadium because the New York Yankees and the New York Giants both shared the Polo Grounds for a while until Yankee Stadium was built. Then also in the year 1913, the New York Highlanders became the New York Yankees. So now they are known as the Yankees, moving from 1913 on. Let's take a look at starting pitchers. Pitching first for the Brooklyn Superbas will be Nap Rucker. In 1913, 14 wins, 15 losses, 2.87 ERA. He had actually 3 saves and 111 strikeouts. So Nap Rucker is not a bad pitcher. And so we'll see what he can do. Let's go to the top of the first for the Philadelphia Phillies. And leading off is going to be Dodi Paskert. And the ball game is underway, and he starts off with a base hit. So Paskert will go to first on the first hit there. And so it's the Philadelphia Phillies that get the first ever hit at Ebbets Field. Here's Otto Nabe, and he'll let him bat. And now it's going to be a play by Miller. Miller makes the play. It's a foul out. And there's one man down. And there's one man down. Let's see, I'm going to bring down the volume a bit there. Okay. Now batting will be Hans Lobert. Lobert hits a long fly ball deep to center. Stengel just watches it go. Goodbye. A home run for Hans Lobert. Oh my Lord, that ball cleared that high fence. So the Philadelphia Phillies hit the first ever home run at Ebbets Field. And if I'm the Brooklyn Superbas right now, I'm feeling cheated. It's 2-0 early for the Phillies with one man out. And here's Sherry McGee. Sherry McGee is a favorite of mine. I'll take a look at him. In 1913, a .306 average, 11 homers, and 70 runs batted in. Let's see how he does. There's a base hit. So the Phillies continue to rack him up. Looks like it might be a long day for Brooklyn and Knapp Rucker. Here is Cozy Dolan. Dolan, it's a ground ball to Smith, on to second, on to first, and they finally get out of the inning. Philadelphia 2, Brooklyn 0. We go to the bottom of the first. And pitching for the Philadelphia Phillies will be Tom Seaton. In 1913, 27 wins, 12 losses, a 2.6 ERA. He led the National League in wins this year. That's a pretty good card right there. So he's a tough pitcher to get past. Okay, if you ever intend to replay the 1913 season, I have a funny feeling you're in for a treat with this pitcher. I really do. Leading off for the Brooklyn Superbas is going to be Casey Stengel, and let's have a look at him. Casey Stengel, in 1913, a .272 average, 7 homers, and 43 runs batted in. Casey Stengel was actually a hell of a ball player too, not just a hell of a manager. We all know what he did with those Yankees back in the mid-50s, and don't we? You know, amazing. And we're going to see his Yankees in due time. Let's see what Stengel does here in his first at-bat. And he gets a base hit to Paskert at center. He'll have to throw it in. And so Brooklyn gets their first hit here at Ebbets Field. The batter will be George Cutshaw. And it's a wild pitch. It moves Stengel to second. So it looks like Tom Seaton's having some issues early. And Cutshaw still the batter. There's a ground ball to second. And Nabe makes the base error. Stengel takes third. Cutshaw to first. Runners at first and third. And still nobody out. Wow. So Otto Nabe now hits that. And now we're going to bring in Benny Meyer. He comes up to bat for the Superbas. Runners at first and third. There's a ground ball to Nabe at second. He makes the play to get the force out. But the Superbas get the first run. So it's 2-1. And now here is Zach Wheat. He's running. Let's see if we can get him out. The Doohan's throw is in time. Just got him. Great throw by Doohan. There's 2 outs. And the bases are clear now for Wheat. And there's another base hit. So maybe that might not have been the better play. So Wheat goes to first. And here's Jake Daubert. There's a ground ball to Nabe. Nabe will make the play this time and end the inning. Philadelphia 2, Brooklyn 1, top of the second. And we'll see what Fred Luteris does. He grounds one to first. Daubert makes the play, one out. And the next batter will be Mickey Doolin. Doolin, it's a fly ball to Meyer in right. He makes the nice catch, 2 men down. And now here's Red Doohan. Doohan lines out right to Smith at third. 3 up, 3 down for the Phillies. And now here come the Superbas. Here's Red Smith. Smith hits a long, deep fly ball. It is gone. Home run. So the Superbas go ahead and get their own home run here at Ebbets Field. It's a good day, so hitting home runs should be pretty okay. But he hits one out of center, and we're tied at 2. So here's Bob Fisher now. I have a funny feeling we're in for a good game. There's a line out to Nabe at second for the first out. And now it'll bring up Otto Miller. Miller grounds one to Lobert at third. He'll throw across the diamond for the out. And now here's the pitcher, Nap Rucker. Rucker grounds one to Lederis at first to retire to the side. Philadelphia 2, Brooklyn 2, top of the third. And Nap Rucker takes the mound again for the Superbas. Here is Tom Seaton, the pitcher, and he's strikeout. And now here is Dodi Paskert. I think that's how you pronounce the name. Split card comes up a double. That one will go into center. Paskert will go to second. And Philadelphia in business. And here's Otto Nabe. Split card for Nabe's a fly out to center. That retires the side there. 2 men down. And it's a clutch for Hans Lobert. He is 1 for 1 with the first home run hit ever here at Ebbets Field. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to right. And he squeezes it for the out. Bottom of the third. Here is Casey Stengel to lead it off for Brooklyn. And it's a ground out right to Seaton, over to first, 1 down. And now we'll see George Cutshaw. Cutshaw, it's a ground ball to Doolin. Doolin will make the play. And the side goes to, and it gets out for the second out. And now here's Benny Meyer. Meyer, it's a fly ball to center, and he makes the catch. 3 innings gone. Philadelphia Phillies 2, Brooklyn Superbas 2. We're going to the 4th inning here at the first game ever played at Ebbets Field. Here is Sherry McGee to lead it off for Philly. And Miller is going to have to make a play. He just couldn't get to it. It's a single in front of home plate as McGee just gets to first in time. Tough play. But we got a man on first, and that will bring up Cozy Dolan. McGee not a threat to steal. Dolan really not a hit and run. So I'm going to let him swing away. This one's a line out to Cutshaw at second for the out. And now it brings up Fred Luderis. Luderis, it's a ground ball to Cutshaw. He makes the play. 4-6-3 double play. And the side is retired. Bottom of the 4th. Here is Zach Wheat for Brooklyn. Wheat goes ahead. It's a long drive. It's way back there. Cozy Dolan at the wall. Jumping for it. Can't get it. Home run, Zach Wheat. Right there. Just right at the tip of it. And Dolan just couldn't make it there at the wall. It is gone. Zach Wheat hits a homer. And the Superbas take a 3-2 lead. And this is supposed to be the dead ball era. Right now, the ball is carrying here. Let's have a look at Jake Daubert. He will bat. Jake Daubert, it's a long drive. Paskert is at the wall. Here's the cat. He can't get it. And that's a home run for Jake Daubert. Wow. Back-to-back homers at Ebbets Field. Wow, that wall's getting a lot of use because they're just hitting balls over it. It's 4-2 Superbas. And now here's Red Smith. And he walked him. Brooklyn doing some damage here in the 4th inning, taking a 4-2 lead, and they're doing it with the long ball here. Here is Bob Fisher. He squares the bunt, pops it out, 1 down. And now here's Otto Miller. Miller, it's a ground ball to Nabe. He will make the play. The runner on first Smith is out. There are now 2 outs, but Miller does get to first. And here is Nap Rucker, the pitcher. He hits a grounder to short. And the side is retired. Brooklyn 4, Philadelphia 2, 5th inning. Oh, I have a funny feeling we're in for a wild one already. And after the 1912 game, can Strat-O-Matic baseball get any better? Here's Mickey Doolin. He'll lead off for the Phillies. There's a ground ball to third. Smith over to Daubert. 1 out. And that will bring up Red Dewin for Philadelphia. He hits a single to right. Meyer will have to throw it in. And so we get a man on first base. And Brooklyn brings in the corners. Here is Tom Seaton. Chance for a successful bunt. It's a force play to catcher. And the runner on first, Dewin, is out. So the bunt doesn't work. Seaton goes to first. Now it's up to Dodi Paskert. Paskert walks. So now with runners at first and second, here's Otto Nabe. Nabe, it's a fly ball to Miller at right. It's a single and an error. He can't get there. Seaton scores. Pasker takes third. Nabe to second. It's 4-3. And now here's Hans Lobert. Lobert hits one right back to Rucker. Rucker will make the play. Brooklyn 4, Philadelphia 3, bottom of the fifth. And here's Casey Stengel. And there you got a long fly to left, but McGee will make the catch, one down. And now we shall see George Cutshaw. Cutshaw grounds one back to Nabe at second. And that will bring up Benny Meyer. Split card comes a line out to second, and that is the end of the inning. Sixth inning coming up. We got a good game going on here so far. Here is Sherry McGee, and he grounds one right back to Cutshaw at second for the first out. And here's Cozy Dolan. Dolan grounds one also back to Cutshaw over to first. And now here's Fred Luteris. Base hit. Clean single. Luteris goes to first. And now Mickey Doolin has a chance to try to get him in. This one's going to be a fly ball to left, and he sits under it and makes the play. Bottom of the sixth coming up. And here is Zach Wheat, who blasted the homer in the last time up. This time he lines right out to Nabe at second, one down. And now we'll see Jake Daubert. Pop fly ball to second. Nabe getting all the work today in the inning. It's 2 men down. And now it brings up Red Smith for Brooklyn. There's a fly ball to center. Can Pasker get it? Nope. It's going to be a double and an error. Smith will score. So basically that's a double and an error. So it's an inside the park double that turns into a inside the park home run via error. But of course it won't go down on the scorecard that way. It's 5-3 Brooklyn, as Pasker can't make it out there. And now here's Bob Fisher. Base hit. Base hit. And now you got a man on first, and it brings up Otto Miller. Miller grounds one to Doolin at shortstop. That play he will make and end the inning. 6 innings are gone by. The Brooklyn Superbas 5, the Philadelphia Phillies 3. We go to the 7th inning here at the first ever baseball game at Ebbets Field. Here's Red Doohan to lead it off for the Phillies. Nap Rucker pitching a pretty good game so far. There's a line out to Fisher at short for the down. And now the batter is Tom Seaton. I'm going to continue to let him bat. And Seaton doesn't disappoint me. He gets a base hit. So the Phillies get a runner on first. And now here's Dodi Paskert. Paskert strikes out. And now here's Otto Nabe. 1 for 3 with an RBI. Let's see if Nabe can come through with a big hit. And not this time. Fly ball to left. Who holds the record consecutive strikeouts in one game with 10? That will be Tom Seaver of my favorite baseball team, the New York Mets, in 1970. Yeah, I know I'm a Mets fan, people. And to me, the best baseball team I ever saw was the 1986 New York Mets. They had it all: hitting, pitching, fielding, and of course, attitude. And that was one heck of a team. And I'll put that team up in a best of 7 series against anybody. They might not win them all, but they're gonna go the distance, I think, in pretty much all of them. And when we get to 1986, we might be seeing a full season replay with my favorite baseball team. Can't wait to get to the Mets, but we got a long way to go before 1962. Let's get back to our game back in 1913, bottom of the 7th inning. The Superbas are up. Nap Rucker will lead off. And that comes up a line out to second for the out. Here's Stengel. That's a fly ball to McGee in left. And he gets under it and squeezes it. 2 men down. And now here's George Cutshaw. Line out to third base to end the inning. 7 innings gone by. We go to the 8th. And now we'll see what Hans Lobert can do. Lobert hits a ground ball to Fisher at short. And it's going to be a 2-base error. He threw the ball away. So Lobert goes to second. And Philadelphia is in business. And here is Sherry McGee. Strikeout. Got him looking. Got him looking. And now the batter is Cozy Dolan. Dolan, it's a fly ball. And Stengel makes the play, 2 down. And now here's Fred Luderis. And he's going to pitch around Fred Luderis. It's a passed ball. Lobert will go to third. So Miller can't make the play at the plate. It's a pass ball. Lobert to third. And now Luderis has a chance to bring home a run. Here's the windup, the pitch, and he walked him. So runners now at the first and third. Mickey Doolin coming in. And here is the pitch. And it's a fly ball to right. They get out of the inning. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Here's Benny Meyer coming up for Brooklyn. And let's see, Tom Seaton. I'm going to let him see what he can do here. There's a ground ball to second. Nabe will make the play, 1 out. And now here's Zach Wheat, who is 2 for 3 with a homer. Fly ball to right. Can Dolan make the play? Nope, it's a single and an error. Wheat goes to third. 3 errors on Philadelphia, 2 on the Superbas. So the big insurance runs at third base with 1 out. And now the batter is Jake Dobert, who is 1 for 3 with a home run. And let me check. Let's have a look and see how Seaton is doing. Let's visit the mound and see what he says. And he says no fatigue. 5-3. Let's let him pitch. Let's let him pitch to Dobert. Here's the pitch. Fly ball left field. McGee will get it, make the catch, but he'll have to throw it in. There's no way they're going to get Wheat. It's 6-3 Brooklyn on a sac fly, and here's Red Smith. Ground ball to Luderis at first to retire the side. Brooklyn 6, Philadelphia 3. We go to the top of the 9th. And here is Red Doohan for the Phillies. Ground ball to third. Smith over to Dalbert at first, 1 out. And we'll see a pinch hitter. And we're going to bring in a player that had a heck of a year that year. And let's actually have a look at him. This is Gavy Kravitz. In 1913, a 341 average, 19 homers, 120 RBIs. The funny thing is, all 19 of those homers were at the Baker Bowl. He didn't hit a single home run on the road. That just shows, and the reason why, mostly because he mostly hit them over the short left field porch. If you take a look, if we get to a chance to take a look at the Baker Bowl, you'll see how it was a very short right field. It was a short right field. I think the distance was only like somewhere between, it wasn't even 300 feet. So Gavy Kravitz had a heck of a year. He led the majors in homers, but he led the National League in homers, but they were all at the Baker Bowl, where the Phillies were playing at that time. But Kravitz will get a chance here. And let's see what he can do. Kravitz gets a single into center. Stengel will throw it in. So a pinch hit by Kravitz, and we'll bring up Dodi Paskert. There's a fly ball to center. Stengel will make the play. 2 down. The last chance for the Philadelphia Phillies will be Otto Nabe. Knapp Rucker on the mound. Here's the windup, the pitch. It's a line drive to Fisher. It's short, makes the play, snags it out of the air, and that's the game. So the Brooklyn Superbas win the first ever game at Ebbets Field over the Phillies by a score of 6-3. Exciting. I thought home runs galore at this place. Let's have a look at the box score. Let's have a look at it. For the Phillies, Paskert 2 for 4, McGee 2 for 4, and Lobert was with a home run, Wheat with a homer, Dalbert with a homer, and Smith with a home run. For the Superbas, Zach Wheat was the boy. 3 for 4. 2 runs scored and an RBI, including the home run. Knapp Rucker will get the win, and Tom Seaton will get the loss. And only 4,000 fans visited the game. Really? Only 4,000 fans visited the first ever game at Ebbets Field? Really? Somebody needs to put more commercials on television during football season, I guess. I don't know. Oh, that's right. They didn't have TV back then, did they? My bad. Anyway, Knapp Rucker gets a complete game as the Brooklyn Superbas beat the Philadelphia Phillies 6-3. So another exciting game, 4 home runs, the first ever at that stadium. So, and I'm sure we're gonna have lots more games at Ebbets Field coming up in the future with with the Superbas or the Robins and the Dodgers. Who knows where I'll be going as we approach. Everybody, again, thank you very much for watching. Good game here. I'll see you for the next season. Once again, the final score here, the Brooklyn Superbas 6 and the Philadelphia Phillies 3. See you next time on Strat-O-Matic Replay.